Good evening, everyone. I'm Carol Daniel. On behalf of the St. Louis American Foundation, I want to welcome all of you to the 2021 Salute to Excellence in Education Scholarship and Awards Virtual Gala. While we wish we could celebrate together in person, we thank you for joining us tonight in this safe virtual space. Your continued support has allowed this program to grow, adapt, and be sustained for 34 years. Recognition of outstanding local Black educators and providing needed resources for high-achieving students of color to pursue their higher education goals are long-standing pillars of the Foundation's mission. We believe now more than ever that it's critical that we celebrate the educators who have been on the front lines in our local schools throughout the pandemic, devoted to meeting the learning needs of our students. The scholarship funds awarded tonight bridge a critical gap given the economic hardships so many families are facing. And this evening, we're delighted to share that we will award a record $2.9 million in scholarships and education grants this year. $2.9 million. The scholarships and grants being awarded tonight would not be possible without the generous contributions of our corporate supporters and education partners who also share our appreciation and high regard for the value and critical importance of high-quality educators. This broad support is an affirmation of the importance of the mission of the Education Salute. We would like to acknowledge and express our appreciation for their indispensable support. Our salutatorian level sponsors are Bear, Centene, and Maryville University. Our educator grant sponsor is the Missouri Lottery. Tonight's summa cum laude sponsors are Southeast Missouri State University and University of Missouri-Columbia. Our cum laude sponsors are Anheuser-Busch, A.T. Still University, East St. Louis School District 189, Edward Jones, and McCormick Barron Salazar. Our Dean's List sponsors include Enterprise Holdings, the Regional Business Council, and St. Louis Community College. The honor roll supporters are Harris Stowe State University, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis, and Western Governors University. And our attendance prize sponsor is Vincent's Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Salute to Excellence. You'll find a complete list of all of our sponsors in this week's special edition of the award-winning St. Louis American newspaper. Since its inception in 1994, the St. Louis American Foundation and its partners have now invested $11 million in the St. Louis community. If you're watching tonight and you'd like to join the effort to support the vital work of the Foundation and its investment in our students, you can visit the address on your screen to pledge your support at any level. You're all in for a treat tonight. We're about to award over $2.9 million in scholarships and education grants. To begin the always inspiring scholarship program, we'll start with a unique scholarship opportunity for college upperclassmen. For over 25 years, Anheuser-Busch and the St. Louis American Foundation have been coming together in support of the next generation of leaders by investing in their college education to help them pursue their educational and professional goals. It's a partnership that's resulted in $250,000 in scholarship funds awarded to our local students over the years. Tonight, I'm excited to share that Anheuser-Busch is stepping up and increasing their annual scholarship support to $50,000 to help meet the rising cost of college. These Anheuser-Busch Better World Scholarships will be awarded to an impressive class of college juniors and seniors from the St. Louis region to close the higher education funding gap and ensure that these students not only start college, but they stay in school and reach their goal of graduating with a college degree. Thank you to our partners at Anheuser-Busch for this new level of support. Over the years, the scholarships offered by the foundation have expanded to include several nonprofit and corporate partners, as well as 12 Missouri colleges and universities that offer scholarships named for the foundation's president, Dr. Donald M. Suggs. We'd like to note that our very first university partner in this pioneering effort was the University of Missouri-Columbia. So we'll begin our Suggs Scholarship presentations where it all began at Mizzou 22 years ago. Mizzou established the Donald M. Suggs Scholarship to enhance the recruitment and retention of academically talented students from ethnic groups that are typically underrepresented in higher education. The University of Missouri Donald M. Suggs Scholarship is worth $60,000 over 4 years and includes study abroad funding and a Discovery Fellow research stipend. The 2021 Mizzou Suggs Scholar is Kathleen Harris. Kathleen is from O'Fallon, Missouri, and was a 2021 summa cum laude graduate at Fort Zumwalt West High School. She's studying biology and psychology at Mizzou and is a member of the school's Honors College. Kathleen plans to attend medical school and become an orthopedic surgeon. Now let's head to my old stomping grounds, Cape Girardeau, for our second scholarship. The Donald M. Suggs Scholarship Award at Southeast Missouri State University has been awarded annually for 13 years to recognize a student from the St. Louis metropolitan area who has demonstrated the potential for academic achievement, leadership, and commitment to their community. It provides a full tuition scholarship plus an additional $1,000 to cover other educational expenses. It's renewable for 3 additional years. The total value of the Semo Sugg Scholarship Award is over $30,000. The 2021 recipient is Joshua Nelson. Joshua graduated from St. Charles West High School, earning magna cum laude honors. Joshua is now a freshman at Semo, majoring in biomedical sciences, and he hopes to pursue a career in optometry. For our next presentation, we're off to the only historically black college and university in the region, Harris Stowe State University. Harris Stowe understands that it's critical to provide not only a high-quality college learning experience, but to ensure that it is both affordable and accessible. And with those goals in mind, Harris Stowe established its Donald M. Suggs Scholarship 9 years ago. The value of the scholarship is nearly $20,000 per year and provides full financial support, including tuition, housing, and fees, with a total renewable value of $80,000. This year, the scholarship is awarded to Precious Baker. Precious is a St. Louis native and a graduate of Cardinal Ritter College Prep. She's studying biology at Harris Stowe with a concentration in pharmacy. She maintains a 3.9 GPA. Congratulations to you, Precious. Our next presentation comes with some exciting news from Maryville University. Stay tuned to learn more from Maryville's president, Dr. Mark Lombardi.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Mark Lombardi, the president of Maryville University, and it is a privilege to join you tonight. This is the 6th year that we have given out the Donald M. Suggs Scholarship Awards. Last year, we increased our awards from 2 to 4 per year. Those 4 awards each year over a span of 4 years are worth in excess of $524,000. That is our commitment to those scholarships. Tonight, we're here to honor this year's recipients. Anthony Mccullough of Liberty High School, Ashante McAllister of Hazelwood West, Serenity Merritt of the Collegiate School, and Tristan Moore of Webster Groves. We look forward to supporting all of these wonderful students in their 4-year educational journey here at Maryville University. We'd also like to congratulate our own Dr. Brian Gantt, who is an awardee recipient of the St. Louis American Excellence in Education this year. Congratulations, Brian. Thank you, and have a great evening.
That's amazing news from Maryville University. We are so grateful for this incredible level of commitment. How about we keep the money coming for these students? This year marks the 9th year of the Foundation's scholarship partnership with Missouri State University. The Missouri State University's Donald M. Suggs Inclusive Excellence Scholarship was established to help support our future leaders with the resources they need to succeed. The scholarship is valued at $30,000 for 4 years of undergraduate work and 1 year of graduate work. The scholarship includes stipends for housing and the university's Study Away program. This year, Missouri State awarded the Donald M. Suggs Inclusive Excellence Scholarship to Shanita Ross. Our next scholarship is from St. Louis Community College. Our community colleges are an integral part of our higher education landscape. St. Louis Community College strives to create accessible, dynamic learning environments focused on the needs of our diverse community. The Donald M. Suggs Scholarship at St. Louis Community College is one way St. Louis Community College breathes life into that mission. The Endowed Scholarship Fund provides a $10,000 award for this year's recipient. The 2021 St. Louis Community College Suggs Scholar is Ashley Hill. A non-traditional student, Ashley attended Soldan High School, and now, 10 years later, she is on her way to become the first member of her family to attend and graduate from college. Ashley is studying business, and after graduation, she wants to own her own community-rooted business and teach financial literacy. We have big news to share tonight from Washington University in St. Louis. Please stay tuned for a special announcement from Chancellor Andrew Martin.
Good evening. I'm Andrew Martin, Chancellor of Washington University in St. Louis. It is my distinct honor to join you as the St. Louis American Foundation presents the 34th Annual Salute to Excellence in Education Scholarship and Awards Virtual Gala. Like you, I regret that we are not able to join in person to celebrate this important recognition of outstanding leaders in education in the region and talented and promising local students. It's also important to recognize the leadership of the St. Louis American Foundation for its unabated effort to champion education in the greater St. Louis area. It is also a pleasure to share some exciting news on behalf of Washington University. The university established its Donald M. Suggs Scholarship Program in 2016. Tonight, we are announcing a new level of commitment. For 2021 and beyond, the Donald M. Suggs WashU Pledge will award 2 students with 4-year renewable scholarships that cover the full cost of a Washington University education, including tuition, room, and board, at a combined total value of $560,000. These new scholarships reflect the university's shared belief with the St. Louis American Foundation that all talented students should have the opportunity and resources to realize their full potential. I'm delighted to introduce 2 outstanding students who are the recipients of these new scholarship awards. Kaylee Green, a first-year student in the Mccullough School of Engineering, was valedictorian at Jennings High School. A first-generation college student, Kaylee is currently pursuing a degree in biomedical engineering. Amsatu Baka graduated as valedictorian from Soldan International Studies High School. She is a first-generation college student in the College of Arts and Sciences and plans to pursue a degree in biology in preparation for medical school. Congratulations to our 2021 WashU Suggs Scholars.
I hope you're applauding that news from WashU at home. Over $500,000 for their Suggs Scholars. 2021 is the Foundation's 2nd year of partnership with St. Louis University. The SLU Donald M. Suggs Scholarships are a natural extension of the university's core Jesuit values of forming students for and with others. The scholarships are awarded annually to 2 SLU juniors and seniors to help fund completion of their studies. The annual value of the scholarships is $40,000. This year's SLU Suggs Scholars are Kiana Ho and Brianna Jackson. Kiana is a SLU senior majoring in political science and international studies with a minor in Spanish. She hopes to enter a career in public policy so she can help people by creating change on a large scale. Brianna is a senior in the Medical Laboratory Science program. She plans to work as a medical lab technologist in St. Louis after graduation. Next, we're excited to tell you about a special opportunity for an outstanding nursing student provided by Goldfarb School of Nursing at Barnes Jewish College. Goldfarb recognizes that we need more diversity in nursing and put words into action 5 years ago by establishing the Donald M. Suggs Minority Nursing Student Scholarship. The scholarship is awarded annually to a student pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. It's valued at up to $25,000. The 2021 Goldfarb Sub Scholar is Loon Nim. Loon's goal as a future nurse includes advocacy, effective patient communication, structural competency, and health equity. Congratulations to Loon. For our final scholarship presentation, we head to Webster University. Last year, Webster truly broke the mold in reimagining the scope of its Suggs Scholarship program. We're excited to update you on their ongoing commitment in 2021.
Good evening. I am Beth Strobel, Chancellor of Webster University. The St. Louis American Foundation's annual Salute to Excellence in Education Scholarship and Awards Gala has become one of Webster University's greatly anticipated events. While we miss the in-person celebration and recognition of some of our diverse incoming students, it still is a pleasure to join you virtually tonight. Here at Webster, we know that prioritizing global diversity and inclusion is essential to transforming our students for global citizenship and individual excellence. And we understand that commitment requires more than words. It requires resources. This includes expanding available scholarships and grants and providing greater support for students. These measures include Webster's transition and academic prep that helps students prepare for college, to year-round tutoring and writing assistance through the recently expanded Reg Academic Resource Center. Because of these resources and our commitment to assuring the twin promises of access and success, Webster was recognized last year by St. Louis graduates for enrolling significant percentages of low-income students and Black students and supporting them to graduate with less debt. Nationally, we are recognized for the economic and ethnic diversity of our students, the numbers of Pell-eligible undergraduates, and the social mobility of Webster education provides.
But it isn't just resources. Partnerships are also vital to making this a success for our entire region. For example, Webster recently partnered with Harris-Stowe State University, one of the oldest HBCUs west of the Mississippi. Last week, we welcomed them to our WINS program, which will give their students and faculty access to our network of international campuses, thus giving more students of color in St. Louis more opportunities to have experiences, to study abroad, and to learn about different cultures. And tonight, we are here to celebrate another partnership that Webster has forged, the creation of the Webster University Dr. Donald M. Suggs Scholarship in 2014. Last year, we announced that we were increasing our commitment to 10 Webster Sub Scholars. And once again, in 2021, our 8th year of the program, we've again awarded 10 Webster Sub Scholars. These 4-year, full tuition scholarships are valued at $114,000 each for a combined investment of over $1 million.
We are delighted to introduce to you our 2021 class of Bright Young Sugg Scholars, increasing the current number of Webster Sugg Scholars to 24. Please join me in congratulating Mackenzie Antonor, Anaya Beckwith, Alinka Bringus, Theodore Dang, Emerald Dubois, Nisa Gilchrist, Rachel Jackson, Matthew Wynn, Jason Foe, and Keita Spearman.
We also extend Webster's heartiest congratulations to one of tonight's honorees, Jonathan Strong is an Excellence in Education Award recipient and an alumnus of Webster, and we wish him all the best as he continues his remarkable work in education.
My friends, if we were together in the ballroom, I'd ask you all to stand and give another round of applause for Webster University and this amazing level of commitment, over $1 million. I hope you're applauding with me. This year has brought no shortage of challenges in higher education, so the Foundation is so grateful that despite that, each of the scholarship partners on our program tonight have not only stayed with us, but many have increased their commitment. That's a remarkable showing of solidarity for the Foundation's work. Tonight's scholarships, combined with the Foundation's education grants and other funds awarded in 2021, gives us a total of $2.9 million. In a year that's brought so much struggle, it's so special to be able to pause for a moment to celebrate the good that is happening right here in our community. The partnerships and spirit of cooperation that make it possible, and the bright futures of our young people. If you've been inspired by our program tonight and you'd like to support the work of the St. Louis American Foundation, I urge you to visit the address on your screen to make a contribution, no matter the amount, to the Scholarship Fund. And now it's time for the Education Awards. The Education Salute has been celebrated for 34 years, and honoring our educators is a deeply held objective of the Foundation's mission. This year, however, we celebrate with special mindfulness and respect for the extraordinary circumstances our educators are facing. Some are on the front lines in schools as they are challenged to both teach and keep themselves and their classrooms healthy and safe. Others have been teaching in virtual classrooms, adapting to swift technological changes and making sure no student is left behind while learning remotely. Indeed, this is another school year unlike any other. But we believe that despite the challenges and struggles, there are good things happening that should be shared, uplifted, and celebrated. We'll start our Education Awards program by presenting the 2021 Excellence in Education Awards. These awards are being presented to 5 individuals for their remarkable success in empowering the lives of our youth. They are our unsung community heroes who meet the challenges of leading and teaching and make a positive difference in the lives of our young people. And our first awardee is Dr. Howard E. Fields III. As a public school educator, Dr. Fields has spent the majority of his career in urban settings, serving students as a teacher, assistant principal, and principal. In Dr. Fields' very first year as a principal, he was assigned to Koch Elementary School. Just 2 days before school started, Michael Brown was shot and killed by a police officer on Canfield Drive at the Canfield Green Apartments, only blocks from the school. Dr. Fields was responsible for navigating a turbulent school year in the heart of the unrest, and he was recognized by the Missouri Association of Elementary School Principals in 2016 with the Exemplary New Principal Award. Dr. Fields is currently Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources for Kirkwood School District. He's also the author of the book, How to Achieve Educational Equity, and co-founder of Black Males in Education St. Louis, an organization created to support, develop, connect, mentor, and empower current and future educators of color. Dr. Fields earned his bachelor's, master's, and PhD in education from the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Congratulations to Dr. Brian M. Gantt. Dr. Gantt is an accomplished information technology, cybersecurity, and critical infrastructure educator and researcher. Currently, he serves as an assistant professor of cybersecurity at his alma mater, Maryville University, at its Simon School of Business. Dr. Gantt has dedicated himself to practical instruction and allowing his students to think abstractly about complex problems, which require multi-layered approaches. His approach to instruction is hands-on, giving his students options to learn at different levels and communicate with each other as future cybersecurity leaders. His passion is his students because he believes in the power of access and education to better their lives, especially underserved student populations. During his time at Maryville, he has served as an advisor to the Men of Color Brotherhood, the Maryville Cyber Association, and board member of the Athletics Advisory Council. Next, we honor Lynn Hinton. Lynn Hinton comes from a family of educators, and she's just entered her 23rd year as an educator. She's currently an English language arts teacher for 8th grade students at Northeast Middle School in the Parkway School District, the district she's called home for 11 years. Lynn is very active in participating and leading equity-based learning in her classroom and her school. She has successfully built trust with her students by following through on what she says she's going to do. She understands that middle schoolers thrive on consistency, routine, and relationships, and therefore works diligently to ensure she provides that to her students. Additionally, Lynn supports her educator cohorts by serving as the National Education Association school representative, advocating for educators, and serving as liaison between educators and school administration. Lynn earned her teacher's certification from Harris-Stowe State University and her Master's of Educational Administration from Lindenwood University. Congratulations to Jonathan Strong. Jonathan is an educator who works with elementary school-age children, helping build strong foundations for their futures. His philosophy for education can be summed up in one word: service. He believes it's his purpose to serve as a steward for learning and growth. Jonathan is the principal of Merrimack Elementary School in St. Louis Public Schools. In addition to helping build strong foundations for the students at Merrimack, Jonathan is a champion for the teachers and staff, encouraging them to set goals and pursue ongoing learning and development opportunities. Prior to joining SLPS, he served as an assistant principal in the Maplewood-Richmond Heights School District, a literacy coach, reading instructor, and a 4th grade teacher at Confluence Academy. Also, he taught at Thurgood Marshall Academy. Outside the classroom, Jonathan serves as a mentor for young males and works with several local nonprofits dedicated to helping the youth and families of St. Louis. He holds a BA in elementary education from Alabama A&M University and a MA in reading and educational specialist in school leadership degree from Webster University. Dr. Rhonda Wallace. Dr. Rhonda Wallace has 23 years of educational experience at all levels, including elementary and high school teaching, and 10 years in administrative leadership. Last year, Dr. Wallace made history by becoming the first Black woman principal in the history of the special school district when she was named principal of North Technical High School. Dr. Wallace comes from a family of educators and grew up insisting that she would never go into education. But over the years, watching her mother, a Head Start teacher, work with the children in her neighborhood, Dr. Wallace grew interested in the ways that education helped the local kids become successful and productive, and it opened her mind to the profession of teaching. Previously, Dr. Wallace served as assistant principal at Normandy Middle School and played an integral role in many educational and leadership outcomes within the Houston Independent School District in Houston, Texas. Dr. Wallace earned a Master of Arts degree in counseling from Prairie View A&M University and an Education Specialist degree in administration and a Doctorate of Education in Educational Administration from Lindenwood University. And now we have some more good news for these awardees. We all know that teachers and educators routinely reach into their own pockets to help cover their professional development and classroom needs. Tonight, we're proud to provide $500 education grants to each of our Excellence in Education Award recipients to thank them for all they do. Congratulations again to each of you. Our next award is the Bear School of Excellence Award, and we're excited to bestow this honor on a very deserving school. For 19 years, the St. Louis American Foundation has partnered with what was once Monsanto, now Bear, to present the School of Excellence Award. This year's Bear School of Excellence is James Avant Elementary in East St. Louis School District 189. As elementary schools across the region struggled throughout the pandemic for the past 18 months, James Avant Elementary stepped up to the plate. Principal Quanshonda Nicholson credits the student body's improved test data, along with the school's practice of addressing the whole child, looking at the social-emotional piece with the student, as well as the academic and being trauma-informed. That staff training was put to the test like never before as the school coped with COVID-19. School social workers were deployed to students' homes when they didn't show up on Zoom, communicating with parents in English and Spanish to ensure everyone was all right. School lunches became take-home breakfast, lunch, and weekend boxes. The focus on social and emotional learning wasn't just for the students. Principal Nicholson explained that as teachers coped with the pandemic, they were given weekly check-ins, online bonding events, and as much emotional and functional support as the school could muster. This academic year, for the first time since the beginning of the pandemic, all students are back at James Avant Elementary full-time. Some strategies they've used include departmentalizing the 1st through 5th grades, meaning a team of 2 teachers teaches each grade, one for math and science and another for language arts and social studies, so that each teacher can play to their strengths. The school has also implemented a culture of what Principal Nicholson calls public practice, where teachers exchange ideas, visit each other's classrooms, and discuss curriculum ideas across the school rather than being siloed in their classrooms. These shifts in school culture have resulted in significant gains in student achievement and impressive gains in the school's assessment scores. Bear and the St. Louis American Foundation are honored to recognize the achievements of James Avant Elementary School. This recognition includes 8 new laptops and a $2,500 education grant for the school. But that's not all. Bear will provide an additional $10,000 through its Bear Fund Michelle Insco STEM grant, named in honor of the Bear Fund's beloved late colleague. The additional grant will support a STEM program to further assist the school's efforts to cultivate the minds of our young people. Congratulations again to Avant Elementary. The St. Louis American Foundation has a long-standing partnership with Southeast Missouri State University to recognize the invaluable work of guidance counselors. This year, we present the Semo Counselor of the Year Award to an outstanding local counselor, Yolanda C. Curry of St. Charles West High School. Prior to pursuing a career in education, Yolanda Curry earned a bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of Missouri-Columbia. She worked for several years as a writer and producer and received various awards for her work, including an Emmy Award while employed at STL TV. However, she felt compelled to pursue a career that would enable her to make an even greater positive impact on others, specifically young people. She decided to continue her education and earned a master's degree in school counseling from Lindenwood University. Prior to becoming a counselor, Yolanda worked at a middle school in the special education and library media departments. Now as a counselor at St. Charles West High School, she develops, coordinates, and implements college and career readiness services for the high school students she serves. Yolanda also instituted and currently sponsors the Multicultural Achievement Council of St. Charles West, a program designed to encourage students of color to maximize their potential, explore college opportunities, and become college and career ready. She is also a member of the Missouri Association of College Admission Counseling, the St. Louis Suburban School Counselor Association, and the Missouri School Counselor Association. In addition to her award, Yolanda will receive a $500 grant from the St. Louis American Foundation. Congratulations again to our 2021 Semo Counselor of the Year, Yolanda Curry. And now for this year's top individual honors. Our next award is the Stellar Performer in Education Award, and this year's recipient is Dr. Gwendolyn Diggs, Vice President of Head Start and Early Head Start for the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis. Dr. Diggs has spent the past 26 years following her calling to work in education, teaching children of all ages throughout those years. She has worked in administration in Jennings School District, the Ferguson-Florissant School District, and the National Institute for School Leadership in Washington, D.C. At Head Start, she directs program operations and reporting for the $12 million program, which includes 8 Urban League centers and 6 partner centers serving 931 children from 6 weeks to 5 years of age. In addition to managing the grants that provide operational funding, Dr. Diggs secured grant funding to implement programs to support STEAM education for early learners, emotional well-being for staff, and to provide needed materials and supplies during the COVID pandemic. And while these past 2 years of the pandemic have wreaked havoc in every possible sector, education faced seemingly insurmountable challenges. Yet with care and skill, Dr. Diggs guided the Head Start and Early Head Start teams through a transition from complete shutdown to virtual learning, and now a transition back to in-person learning. Her leadership has been invaluable as the staff navigated completely uncharted territory, all while adhering to CDC and local health guidelines and federal regulations to keep the centers safe and operating. For Dr. Diggs, supporting the children meant supporting an entire community. She explains that it was critical to make sure that all individuals were considered, staff, students, parents, families, and the community, in order to take the best possible care of everyone. Keep watching to hear from Dr. Diggs and learn more about her steadfast leadership of Head Start.
Let's go this way. Spy kids. Spy kids.
The pandemic in itself caught the nation off guard. We were all just wondering, how do we navigate through this new shift that we are having to do immediately? There was really no time. So it was just a day or so in between knowing that we had to suspend school for children 6 weeks to 5 years old. How do you really provide an educational platform for that age group? Early childhood learners in the midst of a pandemic. Remote learning. So everyone knew what they had to do. Everyone had a plan. And we had an action plan. Parents had to definitely be their children's first teacher during this time. Teachers would touch base with their parents via phone to see how they were doing. We were able to get laptops for every teacher and teacher assistant. No matter what the role was within Head Start, we were able to issue laptops to all of our staff members so that they could do their job well and with excellence. Through the grant that we have through the Office of Head Start, I was able to purchase Hatch tablets for every student. So the teacher with her laptop and the children with the Hatch tablets were able to continue the learning process. We were able to also put together packets for parents to pick up, to have learning packets, and that was the way in which we continued to work with our families. When the shelves were bare and you couldn't find toilet paper or you couldn't find, hand sanitizer or gloves and masks, we put together bags and bags of PPE supplies and material, and we had those either delivered to our families or families were able to pick those up. Just really trying to continue to stay engaged with our families. Another thing that we did was we were eager to welcome them back, but I definitely put together a COVID packet for welcoming them back into our centers. Things looked different when they came back, so we wanted to do orientation via video. And also hard copy packets were issued to our families to know what to expect. There were certain things that we did in the past that we could no longer do. Parents were accustomed to bringing their kids into the classroom, walking them to the door. Now we have to greet our parents and our students in the lobby or at the entrance of the center in order to keep our students, our staff, and our families safe. So we continue to sanitize our facilities throughout the day. We make sure that our parents have the information and materials that they need to understand and know what is going on inside that classroom, even though they may not be able to go inside the classroom. Another thing that we try to do too is to make sure that our parents are aware of all the resources that they have through the agency. The Urban League continues to provide parents with car seats, diapers, coats, masks, hand sanitizer. We continue to do wraparound services for our families. So we don't want the pandemic to be a barrier to supporting our families and giving them what they need to feel whole. I'm the third of 8 children. My dad is Elder Willie Wilson, Sr., and my mother is Missionary Marlena Wilson. They grew up in Blytheville, Osceola, Luxor, Arkansas. They are 85 and 86 years old, and they were not able to obtain their high school education because of having to work in the fields, and there was always a desire for them to have a higher education or even just to graduate from high school. So having 8 children, their goal was to make sure that their children received the education that they needed. I'm very humbled by their work and their just endurance to support 8 kids. It's just amazing how they did it. Even though the older 4 had to take care of the younger 4, I found myself taking care of everyone. I use my sisters and brothers as my students. I love teaching from as early as I can remember. And they listen to me. They say that I was strict and mean, but I don't believe that. I know that even to this day, I say what I mean and I mean what I say, but I also care and I have passion and compassion for others, but I do have a focus, and it's a focus on doing what's best for everyone and taking care of people. I'm a servant leader. I love taking care of people. I love serving.
So Dr. Diggs is someone who is truly blessed because she is able to take her passion and turn it into her profession. And when you get a chance to work with her every single day, you get to see that passion in action. She looks at every single one of our Head Start students, all 1,000 of them, as young people who can become educators, doctors, lawyers, elected officials, business people, and the leaders of America of tomorrow. And so when you look at the time, the effort, the resources, and the energy that she puts into her work, you can't help but be inspired and want to do even more to help our young people be the best that they can be.
When I think about my strength, I think about my faith. And what immediately comes to mind is the joy of the Lord is my strength. And my father is a pastor, my mother is a missionary, so I grew up in the church. And that is my foundation, that is my rock. I believe in the power of prayer, and I believe that that helped me to work through any situation that may come my way. I also believe that being fair and consistent is the platform on which I stand. I believe in being transparent. I believe in providing a service to others. So those are the things that keep me going, making sure that everyone is taken care of. I probably want to take care of people more than they want to be taken care of. So I probably am a little bit extra in that area, but I do want to serve, and I want to be able to give people what they need so that they can be whole. I think about my husband. We've been married for over 40 years. He is a strong foundation for me also, and continues to support me in my career. My children and my grandchildren and their family, their spouses are also supports. I also appreciate all the professional educators that have had a hand in who I am. Definitely Dr. Art McCoy, we work together in several districts, and I appreciate his wisdom, even though I'm older than he is. I'm very appreciative to the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis. I've never had the opportunity to work in an organization of this magnitude. It speaks to who I am. Mr. McMillan, his whole purpose is to serve. I am just happy to be a part of his team.
Congratulations, Dr. Gwendolyn Diggs, for being the 2021 Stellar Performer in Education for the St. Louis American Foundation. You truly deserve this recognition, this award, and the Urban League family could not be prouder of you. Thank you for all that you do.
I just appreciate the fact that I am entrusted in this position as Vice President of Head Start, Early Head Start, to serve the largest employee base in the agency, and also to work with kids and families in the community. I'm humbled.
That's how you jump, right? Like that.
Our warmest congratulations again to our 2021 Stellar Performer in Education, Dr. Gwendolyn Diggs. We come to our final award of the evening, the Lifetime Achiever in Education Award. This year we honor longtime educator and leader, Dr. Arthur R. Culver. East St. Louis School District 189 was in a state of chaos in 2011 when Dr. Culver was appointed superintendent. The district, with about 7,300 students at the time, had failed to meet state standards for 9 years under the No Child Left Behind Act. Only 60% of its students met or exceeded state performance standards. Additionally, the district's administration cost was higher than any other school district of similar size. By May of 2011, the Illinois State Board of Education had taken control of the district. With an established reputation as a turnaround leader, Dr. Culver quickly developed structures and systems aimed at ensuring teacher and student success. New implementations included rigorous curriculum standards, increased teacher and principal accountability that includes responsibility for student academic growth, as well as increased social emotional support for students. The district added numerous social workers, counselors, and behavior specialists, and increased staff professional development to become trauma-informed. Under Dr. Carver's 10-year leadership, the East St. Louis School District has earned accreditation through 2024. Additionally, the four-year graduation rate increased by over 13%. The college persistence rate increased by 12%, and the dropout rate decreased by 5%, while student academic achievement rates have grown steadily. Financially, the school district has gone from concerns about having enough funds to make payroll to now having the state's highest designation for financial stability. At the root of all of his efforts lies Dr. Culver's steadfast belief that a good education can leave an indelible mark on a child's life. Keep watching to learn more about the remarkable career of tonight's Lifetime Achiever, Dr. Culver.
Whenever I talk to students, which I do frequently when I visit campuses, usually I'm saying something encouraging, something about self-esteem. Things like, you are what you are and where you are because of what is going into your mind. You can change what you are and change where you are simply by changing what goes into your mind. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Yourself? How's your day going? Good, good. What's the grades looking like? A's and B's? All right, there you go. Keep it going. If it is to be, it's up to me. You can't blame other people. You got to own it. You got to own it yourself. In environments where kids aren't performing the way they should, a lot of times it's about the belief system, the expectations, the standards. The background that I came from, if you look at my zip code, I shouldn't be where I am today. And when I came up, it was my mother and my father. They divorced when I was a young child. And my dad was a rolling stone, was running the streets, in and out of trouble, actually in and out of the penitentiary also. And so he left my mother with 6 children, me and my 5 sisters. And when I was about 7 or 8, my mother did remarry, and we had 4 more kids. So I have 4 siblings, 4 more brothers. So it's 10 of us total. So I know what it's like to be on welfare, to get for Christmas only that you would get from benevolent neighbors, churches, Salvation Army, Red Cross. So I know what it's like not to have. But it's because of educators and coaches, the positivity that they instilled in me and my mom, that's really why I am where I am today. You know, my motivation, honestly, all my life has been to make my mother proud. I know that she was hurt by the way she was treated by my father. And she lived a very tough life, but she was a praying woman. She never gave up. She instilled in us high character, morals, values, ethics, and most importantly, to have a high self-esteem. And because of what she put in me, that's why I'm where I am today. And I learned early on that the great equalizer for people that come up from the kind of environment that I came from is education. It is the great equalizer. It's a way that you can have a different life if you choose to be serious about your education. So that is what really has motivated me to choose the kind of assignments that I've been involved with. So I've always worked with students in populations that people consider at risk, high minority, high poverty, the have-nots. You know, I've been a principal. I took over a school as a principal that was not doing well, last in the district in test scores. To make a long story short, we became a mentor school for the state in Texas and became the #1 performing school academically in that school district. So I know it can be done. And it's my background in education, special education specifically. I chose to work with special education students, and the type of special education students that I worked with were kids that people called, or labeled rather, emotionally disturbed. So there was nothing wrong with their intellect, but they were very challenging, had a lot of energy. A lot of folks couldn't really deal with their behavior. Well, I knew that I had a gift to do that. And so that's what I chose to do. You have to find a way to incorporate self-esteem in a systematic way. So it's critical that you identify your core principles, your standards, and most importantly, your expectations. And you can never compromise your principles, your standards, or your expectations. I don't care how things are. You can't lower your standards, you can't lower your principles, you can't lower your expectations. Now, with self-esteem, the reason that's so important is because each and every one of us, all of our lives, will experience failure, disappointment, defeat, frustration, and setbacks. That's a part of life. You can't escape that. But the difference between the winner and the loser is the way you respond or react to that failure, disappointment, defeat, frustration, and setback. That's the difference. The person with a high self-esteem, they see failure as an event, not a person. A detour, not a dead-end street. A teacher, not an undertaker. And they see it as temporary, not final. So they will bounce back from those negative experiences. But if the self-esteem is not right, it's going to be difficult to bounce back from failure, disappointment, defeat, frustration, and setback. The other thing that makes self-esteem so important is that none of us can consistently perform in a manner which is inconsistent with the way you see yourself. The way you see yourself determines your thinking today. Your thinking today determines your performance today, and guess what? Your performance today will determine your future. So the way you see yourself is so important. And it all starts with a thought. You sow a thought, you reap a word. You sow a word, you reap an action. You sow an action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap a destiny. All starts with the way you think and the way you see yourself. So that's so important.
We're called a depressed community, but to the people who live here, we don't feel depressed. So we have a superintendent who also shares that feeling with us. Our children excel academically, and you know, we have a music and sports history that lives with us. And so I think Mr. Culver, even with him not being from East St. Louis, have made us his adoptive city. And he shares the love for the city, for the school district, for the students, and all of the things that are happening with the violence that we experienced, that we didn't experience years ago. Mr. Culver is working to make that change. Security is very important to him. He wants our children to feel safe. He wants the parents to feel like their child or children are safe. So I think as the times have changed, we've made changes within the school district. And we try to live up to our community. As it changes, we also make a change. And hopefully we're moving in a direction where we don't go backwards. So I think Mr. Culver has done a good job of keeping us on track.
Meet with students that are doing extremely well, A's and B's, honor rolls, that kind of thing. Kids that are just there doing average. And then I like to meet with kids that are challenging for our educators, kids that have behavior problems, students that have attendance problems, because you can walk around and walk in classrooms and think things are going great, but when you talk to students, they let you know what's really happening. They tell you the real deal, so you know where you need to make adjustments and make modifications in order to better meet the needs of students. They've helped me with things like how we need to change the dress code, things that we need to implement in the curriculum that's not there. They let you know about, honestly, different staff members, how they feel like they're being treated. So it's just meeting with those students, and we do it quarterly and more often if necessary, but at a minimum, we do it twice a semester, 4 times a year. But that gives me so much feedback as to let us know how we're doing, because we are here to serve. That's the only reason we're here. We're here to serve, to meet their needs so that they can become the people that they want to be later on in life. When you talk to students, they let you know what's going on because they know what your core principles are. They know that you say you're about treating everybody with courtesy, dignity, respect, and professionalism. So if that's not occurring, they're going to let you know who's not treating them that way. So it's just, I mean, you got to get out there and talk to people, not just teachers, not just administrators, but you got to talk to the students and the parents. I do want to thank our Board of Education. I've been very fortunate here to work with a Board of Trustees, a Board of Education that's aligned, the State Superintendent, for her support. The Illinois State Board of Education and their staff have been very instrumental and supportive of our successes here. My team, my administrative team have been very supportive. Our teachers union, our teachers. I can't do it by myself, and I'm just so fortunate to have a great team that have the same vision, and we are single focused. There's one vision and one goal in one school district, and we all are working in concert. So I appreciate that, and that's a blessing.
I do want you to know from the bottom of our hearts that we appreciate you. We appreciate your tireless effort. We appreciate the experience in education that you brought to East St. Louis, your leadership. We appreciate your kindness and your understanding. So, Mr. Culver, you are the best. You deserve this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Last but certainly not least, I want to thank my wife, Annetta Culver. She understands my mission and my purpose and supports it 100%. She's been willing to move from one community to another as I've gone about the business of educating kids, you know, without her support and support of my children too. I wouldn't be able to do what I do. They understand that I love them, but they also understand that I'm on a mission. And they support that mission, and without their support, it would be a lot more difficult to do the things that I do, especially the moving around. And you know, you sacrifice your personal time, your family time, in order to be a great educator, and they've understood that, and they understand that it's about the business of educating kids It's about the vision, the mission, the purpose, and I'm thankful for their support.
Such a remarkable and inspiring career. Our congratulations again and our gratitude for a life of service to our 2021 Lifetime Achiever, Dr. Art Culver. If you've been inspired by our program tonight, and we hope you have been, and you'd like to support the work of the St. Louis American Foundation, we urge you to visit the address on your screen to make a contribution of any amount to the Scholarship and Education Grant Fund. Don't forget that everyone who registered for the program tonight has been entered into our attendance prize drawing, which includes fabulous diamond jewelry from Vincent's Jewelers. The winners will be announced in next week's edition of the St. Louis American, so be sure to pick up a copy or check it out online. If your name is chosen, the American will reach out to you to make arrangements to receive your gift. Congratulations again to all of our awardees and scholarship recipients. We know that education matters, and we know that it's up to us to take care of our children. And the St. Louis American Foundation is one way to do that, so we invite you to come alongside and help us change lives. Thank you for watching, and take care.